we in Cape Town especially have a big appetite for music in general. We love to rock the daisies. We love our ultras. We love our Tomorrow Worlds and stuff like that. Is it Tomorrowland? Is it Tomorrowland? It's giving Disney World, Disneyland. Which one's here? That's I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair.
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the GenC podcast. I am one of your hosts, JP Jackson. Okay. To my far right is the man in the mirror.
Yo!
Mr. Risa Andres.
Is it the it was because it was
Yeah. All you needed was the one glove, and then we were there.
Billie Jean. That's my favorite Michael Jackson song. Yeah. It's because of the ad libs, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
God, we need to get you in a studio. Let's go back vocals.
In the middle today, coming through from your favorite audio platform, the GenC podcast. We have a young, booming, upcoming Cape Town artist who specializes in jazz and R&B, pop. Let's go, Miss Kristi Lowe.
Welcome. Thank you guys so much for having me.
I need to invest in like
soundboards. Yeah. But you heard now, design can do it for you, bro.
I mean, sure. So we can.
You got the sound effects locked in.
We should schedule a recording session.
That's a backhand comment. Also, welcome back, Zander.
So, Kristi, tell us about your relationship with horses.
The fuck?
Yeah, this is just.
That is the roguest first question I have ever been asked.
Welcome to the GenC podcast.
That wasn't me.
Did you just go back deep into the archives? Gosh. Is that a genuine question?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was younger, horse riding was actually my sport of choice, if you can call it that. And I had always had like a deep connection to animals, and ended up falling in love with a Frisian stallion in Greyton, whose owner fell very ill and had nowhere to put him. And I was like, oh, I'll take him.
Was
and
that the
ended
Rian
up,
one?
Yeah. So Rian moved to Cape Town, and he was my first love. Beautiful horse. My gosh, he was stunning. He is in my first music video, Take Me Away.
Okay.
Full circle.
Riding on the beach.
Have you ever been on a horse?
There's so much computing happening.
Wait, no, because that's a good question. Have I, a black man, been on a horse?
I must say, you set me up for failure here because you got me deep in the horse girl category now. And I've got to say, I haven't ridden in like 5 years. It was an age and stage thing.
No.
I can see the wheels.
I don't think I've done that. I don't think, because so for example, I've been to like this horse farm in Durbanville, and I've been to one like in Wellington.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've been on a horse.
You got to change that.
I don't think.
Should we go?
Oh, it's a pinky promise moment.
Genuinely, you can go to beach rides in Nordic. It's beautiful.
I remember being on a horse as a kid.
Yeah.
And like, I just remember how high it felt.
Yeah.
Because I've done a camel, and like, I felt like a horse was higher than a camel, bro. And I just
That's
it's definitely not higher than a camel.
Yeah. I think I'm just glad that I already have kids, because I don't want to RIP my future man.
Well, good luck with your little girl. She might become very into horses. You never know.
Hopefully not.
It's very
Hopefully not.
Genuinely, it's so expensive.
The only horse must be the ones that we give the metal to.
The one city vibes.
To Princess or
the merry-go-round. Gang. Yo, design hoerskool era coming soon. That's crazy. Exactly.
Old Spice.
They're putting us on, bro. Nah, cause like generally I'm thinking about like what's the next phase of my life. Hoerskool era.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my
Hey.
to the old town.
Okay, copyright.
Copyright.
I stopped, bro.
Yeah, you did.
I stopped. Yeah, so you were gonna ask a question about her debut single, breakout song. Let's go.
No, I was going to ask.
Oh.
You can get, for those that do not know you.
Oh yeah, we are podcast.
Who is Kristi Lowe?
Well, very interesting question. Sum it all up in one. Oh my goodness.
For 10 marks.
Yeah. That's a lot. I think Kristi Lowe, I think as an artist, I'm just someone who wants to connect with people. I think that's why I got into music, was as a way of meaningful connection and of kind of processing the things I'm going through in my life and sharing that with people and hoping that they resonate. As an everyday person, just someone who, loves people, loves connecting with people. And I hope that kind of comes through in my music as well. And my drive in life is to connect with people.
So you do seem very family orientated.
Very much
close
so.
with your dad and your
Yes.
mom. You spend lots of summers in Plit,
Yes.
right? So how did you find that base kind of lets you live, express yourself through your experiences?
I think, it's interesting. I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day. I think if you feel safe and loved in your family, it allows you to thrive no matter what you do in life and no matter what you go through. And I think I've been thrown a lot of curveballs. I've lost a lot of people that I love in my life. And I think the fact that I always felt safe and loved by the people in my family made me be able to survive it and get through it. And I think my family means everything to me.
It's your superpower.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know this is joke on, I'm like.
Come on, let's hear it. Let's go.
Like, okay. But you, yeah. It's that whole thing where like you can just see you have a loving father in your life type. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make the joke.
No
That's
daddy
it.
issues here. Yeah.
That's it. What I do want to sort of talk about. So you had your breakout single when you were 15, and that's so young.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me tell you. 15 years old, Newland Stadium was hectic. Yeah.
Wow.
I was actually the youngest person to ever perform there. 40,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
Awesome.
a Stormers
Yeah.
Bulls game. Yeah, it was amazing. I really got thrown in the deep end, but I must say it set me up pretty well in my career going forward from there. So I'm very grateful for it.
I think a lot of things that can be difficult, especially when getting exposed so young, is being kind of trapped by that version of you. Because obviously, as an artist, you evolve, you experience new things, you show different sides of you, but people remember that
version
initial
of you.
thought.
Oh, for sure.
How did you find that process to be?
It's an interesting question because my career was launched by my sister's story. And I think that holds a lot of meaning because even in my first song, it wasn't my words. It was my voice, but it wasn't my voice, you know?
Whoa.
So I don't even consider that single to be my first single. For me, that was the song that we wrote. She wrote the lyrics, Good Luck produced it. And that was the campaign song that we wrote together to help try and raise funds to save her life. And it may have kind of been the beginning for me, but my first song that I consider to be mine is Take Me Away. And that I wrote after we lost her, when I was kind of grappling with my grief and figuring out how to be in the world without her. And that was the first time that I found a way to put my own voice to something. And I think, it is tough because when the whole kind of industry knows you because of that story, it's been a bit of a journey trying to find my own voice in all of that and figure out who I was through all of the loss and the grief. And my mom wrote a book and there's a documentary, and the Get Me to 21 campaign was nationwide. I mean, it was huge in South Africa. So I think I told Zanda the other day, I actually walked into a shop in Sea Point, and I heard someone go, "Oh my gosh, that's the girl whose sister died." And I was like, never going to shake that one. It's with me forever. And I mean, in a way that's very poignant and important, because that is where my story started, and my love for my sister and her loss will always be with me. But I do hope that one day people will know me for who I am and not because I've lost so many people.
I mean, damn. We did the thing. Because I'm sitting here going, I'm flipping a coin in my brain. Do I go forward? Do I go back? And then you said a thing there. You were like, that's where my story starts. And I'm curious as to, no, it doesn't. Let's explore before you lost what you lost. Who were you?
Very interesting question. I feel like I'm in therapy.
Don't worry, I get that feeling a lot.
It's an interesting one because I was a vibrant and energetic child. Like, I was full of life and very kind of out there, sociable. I loved being with people. I was by far the most social of me and my sister. She was very quiet. She loved reading books. She kind of sat in at break and read a book, and I'd go and get her and be like, "Come, Jen, like let's like meet some people." And I think me and my sister were incredibly close growing up. My love for music started with her very young, kind of singing along in the back of the car, and I just naturally slide into a harmony, and my mom was like, straight to singing lessons for you. So yeah, junior school, all kind of beginning part of my life was, I remember it being almost idyllic. I mean, I was very, very lucky to be born into quite a privileged household. I didn't want for much. And I myself was actually born with a rare disease that I grew out of with puberty, thank goodness. So I had my own challenges when I was younger, but I was almost unaware of them. I was very protected from it. I wasn't aware how at risk I was.
Wow.
And then by the time I kind of got to an age where I could have understood it, the threat was kind of gone.
Wow.
But I think it did impact me in its own ways. You pick up on that stress and the doctor's appointments and all of that. I just didn't really fully understand it. But I had a couple years of bliss, and then around 12 or 13 was when shit started to hit the fan. And my cousin was diagnosed with cancer. 2 years later, my sister was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension, and we lost both of them in the span of 5 years. Natalie was 13 and my sister was 20 when she passed. So it was, a very hard couple of years. And then my dad's diagnosis was the same year as we lost my sister. And he passed away in October last year. So that was really difficult as well. So I think, my story and the loss of the loved ones that I've had is very interwoven in my music. I can't really separate it out. And you say, who was I before?
Yeah.
It's hard to really like extract that from who I've become, you know?
But in a way, in what you're doing, you're celebrating that.
Fully.
I think in the way you describe them and the way that you articulate the music, it's almost as if they have a small part in it. And you expressing what they meant to you through the music and gives us insight as to who they were to you.
Yeah. I also think, I can't remember who said it, but someone said, if you're loved by an artist or a writer, you never die. And there's something about there's something about being able to memorialize them and celebrate their memory. And yes, I'm working through the difficult feelings that I've had to deal with over the last couple of years, but I also get to keep them alive with me in my own way. And I think that's really special.
Danger. I'm gonna cry. I'm in danger. Coming back to firstly, you are incredible. Like,
thank you.
Just like, wow, you've done this before. Energy, you know what I'm saying? So the reason I asked the question in the way that I asked the question is because it is who you are that gets you through the path. It is who you are that, like, because what you went through would break a lot of us. And here you are standing, sitting in front of us, singing your story, if you will. And that is like what JP said, we're trying to celebrate. I have another challenging question.
Go for it.
And that is with the reality of loss, are you someone who lets people in?
Yes, and I would say that's definitely due to my family. I think there was a point after losing my sister where I didn't, and I really kind of, everyone has their different coping mechanisms. Mine was just complete shutdown, just freeze. And I went into quite a deep depression. I was trying to finish high school. I wasn't really sure who I was in the world and how to kind of navigate all of this. I mean, I was 17 when she passed. It's not a great time to be anyway. And then you throw all of these massive life altering moments into the mix. And I think, there's something amazing about having a family that just won't give up on you. I mean, I went to bed for almost 2 years and my mom was like, come on, we are up, we're going to therapy, we're going for walks. My dad also, they were so supportive in every way that they could be, but they also challenged me and they pushed me and they made me get out of bed. They made me finish school. They made me go to varsity. And that kind of gap was where I stopped writing and I wasn't feeling anything.
Yeah.
And you can't create when you don't feel. So I was completely out of touch from my music. I stopped performing. I stopped writing completely for about 3 years. And then actually during lockdown was the first time, I think it was a great reset for me. I moved back home. I was kind of forced to be in it with my family and we had really difficult conversations. It was the first time we kind of had that dynamic played out. I was back in the house without my sister and we had to process all of that and be like, oh, it's really tough without her, and it made me have to open up my heart and have to stop hiding away so that I could start to feel and live again. Because, I mean, life without feeling anything is not a life worth living,
And so it's so great that you made it that way of coming home because it's almost like a caterpillar, right? When you come back and you try and evolve into something better. Because like you describing, you didn't write for all that time. But what you actually were doing was incubating the thoughts.
Yeah.
So that you can express it.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Love that.
Professional guy.
I'm going to be taking that. A wise man once said. No, 100%. I agree for sure. And I think sometimes you do have to just stop and allow yourself to process in order to move forward and carry on. And it's actually what one of the lead singles on my upcoming album is about. It's called Medicated. And it's about that time in my life where I was just so numb to the world. I was put on so much medication because everyone was trying to help me in every way they could. And they were giving me meds and they were trying to save me. But actually the only thing that was going to work was for me to actually just dive headfirst into the pain and just feel it and allow myself to process it. Yeah. And I think so often we shy away from that when actually it's the only way out is through. Yeah. And
it always catches up.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we have this idea that the further we run away from it, the more behind it is. Yeah. And there's never a time that it's never going to catch up to you.
No, exactly.
Whether it's at that moment, 5 years, 10 years, at some point you're going to have to confront it.
Exactly.
And whether you're in the right space at that time is a different story.
Yeah.
So that's why when in my opinion, it's always easier when it's fresh, when everyone is feeling it, because a lot of the times grief is different to different people. So when you meet that point, someone might have dealt with it already. And it's easier to do the journey with someone as opposed to...
And it's so important to be able to lean on your community because everyone has different resources. Everyone has different things that they're good and bad at. Like my mom is just a doer. She just, her coping mechanism is she just does everything. I mean, prime example, wrote a book, created a documentary. I mean, when my dad passed last year, I don't think we had like a free night for about 3 months. Like there was always someone in the house because she craves community. She wants people around her who can help talk about these things and like process the grief.
Yeah.
I'm slightly different. I like to kind of process and then share once I'm like kind of know what's going on. Yeah. But I think everyone grieves differently, and it's, you know, grief and loss is something that doesn't go away, as you said. Even if you do the work to process it, the fact that that person's no longer with you will always be with you. You know, and I think it's about finding a space where you can hold that very harsh reality without it weighing you down anymore. And I think that's been my journey over the last couple of years.
I want to go somewhere quickly. There's this very big health wellness industry that we exist with in society. Everyone's trying to be well. Everyone, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's trying to change your lifestyle, change your diet. And it brings me to this idea.
That is sounding like he's going to sell me a Forex course.
Sponsored by.
No, and the point I want to make is that like we as society, we focus on the healing aspect and we forget about the grieving aspect. And it's not to say there's a grieving versus healing, but grief and grieving is so important. I had a conversation with one of my students recently who lost her dad. And like it was an ugly experience because it was one of those, wasn't really in her life. And she did the whole thing like blamed herself, dad didn't want me, that type of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in some ways it's harder because of the guilt. And
the like too messy. And I told her, like, feel that. Like that's where you need to start. In the darkness. Spoilers for the Marvel movie Thunderbolts, which I just watched recently. Oh my goodness. That movie explains grief and healing so well. I literally cried for a Marvel movie.
That's a bit embarrassing.
And so like, so
I'm joking. We find things that are
if I like, let me cook. So we have this character who literally has a traumatic experience and turns to drugs, all the different stuff, right? And then becomes like a superhero and immediately becomes a supervillain because of the path that you take. The path that you take. And these bunch of misfits were like, this is the only like quiet room type thing. Let's go to the worst possible place. Let's go to where the most pain is. Let's start there.
Yeah.
And you've been able to process your grief, sit with your grief. And I think that's also a privilege of practice that we also need to celebrate.
Yeah, it took me a while, but I got there. I think it's something, it's a learned skill for sure. And I think it doesn't help that I was so young when I lost like such an important person in my life. And especially like a sister is hard because that is not the normal kind of progression of things, you know. Losing anyone so young, even a parent or grandparent, is hard because you don't fully kind of understand and grasp the idea of loss and death. But a sister, not a great one. Not a great one. But I think you find your coping mechanisms as well. Like, gotta love some dark humor. Gotta be able to laugh at life. Like, if you can't find the joy in the crap stuff, then, you know, what are we doing here? And I think, family is everything. I also just want to say, like, family for me is chosen family as well, not just blood. Like, I have people in my life that I have chosen to be a part of my life forever, and they have held my hand the whole way through. And I think, I think it's important for people to know that your community is who you choose it to be. And it's important to allow people to help you as much as you help them. And that's been a big learning for me, is like allowing myself to be helped. It's a really hard thing to do, to say like, hey, I'm struggling. Someone help me, please. I need like a little floaty because I'm sinking.
Because I think a lot of the times, especially if you see yourself as a strong person, it's hard to send out that floaty.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think, harder to then accept the
No, we often prefer to be needed over wanting to need. Like it's much easier to help someone else than to let someone else help you. And I think, that's been a big learning for me. And I'm grateful to have learned it so young, because it has like, it's set me up in life for being able to lean on my community and allow a give and take. You know, that's what relationships are.
So let's talk about that first performance afterwards. Now you're stepping out again, but the scene is not the same, right?
No,
there's different. It's not
at all.
It's not the same. You're trying to find your feet again, trying to find your voice, because performance is a skill, right? Recording is a skill on its own. How did you find that stepping out and that experience like when you did?
I think it was hard because for a couple of reasons, but the first being that when I first started, I had such an impactful story that threw me into it, that I was kind of, none of the traction had to be created by me. I was just given a music career, and they were like, here you go. Go sing. And I was like, okay. And then when I decided that I actually wanted to do it for me, I suddenly realized I had to step back out there and recreate a career for myself that was based on what I had to offer, what I have to share with the world. And that's a very different conversation, because you have to know who you are in order to allow other people to see that, you know? So I really had to figure out, and I think that's prior to this album, what I was doing, figuring out who I am, what my sound is, who I am as an artist, what I wanted to say, what I stand for as a person, but also what I wanted to share with the world and let people see in me. And I think it took me a while to get there, but I think that this album that I've just written is the first time that I have a body of work that I feel like truly represents me as an artist. And I think I've said the things in there that mean the most to me. I've talked about the things in my life that have shaped me the most. And I've also found a way, I think, to connect with people that I find so incredibly valuable. And every time, I mean, the album's been finished now for about 5 months, and coming out 27th of August. But I performed it quite a bit over the last 4 months. And it's been just incredible to see the response from audiences and from people who have not heard this music before. I mean, it's quite a thing to be like, hey, sit down and listen to an hour of music that you've never heard before. And yeah, it's truly shown me how you can connect with people when you put yourself out there and you do choose to share your story. And I think there is something so powerful about hearing people's stories and letting yourself both be inspired and taken on a journey. And I think, yeah, the people I've met along the way and the response I've gotten along the way has made me realize how worthwhile this is as a career. And I think, I had a bit of a moment the other day where I saw someone commented on actually one of the Let's Get Local posts saying art is a luxury. And I just had this moment where I was like, I could not disagree more. Like, for me, I understand what they were saying. It is like in a world where you're trying to make a living and you're trying to survive. Capitalism. It feels that way, yeah. But I think what ends up happening is like your 9 to 5 is how you survive. The art is why you survive. And if you don't have...
Sorry.
No, but seriously, if you don't have meaning, like if you don't have like the art...
That is a little embodiment of a comment.
And I think exactly in a society that like values productivity so much more than creativity. Yeah. It's really hard to be an artist because you have to sometimes not be productive in order to create. And creativity is a productive thing in its own right, but you need the space to do nothing, to create something.
Yeah.
And I think it's been a really big learning for me over the last couple of years. And having to sit with my grief has helped me in that, because I got really good at just sitting there and being like, work this all out in my head, and the writing kind of became an outlet for that. And I'm so grateful that I have that as a way to kind of process and let all of that out. But I think it's something that there's not enough of in the world. And so for me, art is a necessity.
Take. So we are going to obviously explore the external society and the outer parts of your story. But just before we do that, the album is called
A Glimpse Inside My Mind.
I mean, apropos. The music that you made before this album, sorry to take us back. I believe one of the songs called Villains. Tell us more.
So as I said, I think I was kind of figuring out like who I am and where I wanted to be. And a lot of the songs I wrote, I would choose a topic that I was passionate about and be like, okay, I'm going to write about this. And like, it's going to mean something. Which, I mean, it's one way to go about it. It's probably not the best way to go about it. And Villain for me, I got my heart broken. I was in a situationship that I thought meant something more than it actually did. And when it all ended, I kind of had this moment of realization being like, how did I end up becoming the villain for being the one that cared more?
Wow.
Like I was in this. I was like, cool, I really care about you. Like, let me be in your life. And then it turned around on me and I was like, oh, how lame of me for caring, Yeah. And it was kind of this realization for me that especially in today's society and today's culture, I mean, like hookup culture is a massive thing.
Yeah.
And people are shamed for loving and for caring. It's like there's no space in especially in like as you're growing up as a young person to like actually just be like, I feel big things and that's okay. So Villain was a bit of an exploration for me. We did a massive music video as well. That was a huge production, which I loved. I mean, it was so much fun. Genre-wise, it was kind of just before I realized that I wanted to be more in the soul R&B pop space. So it's a bit more kind of grungy electronic pop, which I like, but it never really felt like me. Okay. It felt like me trying to figure out, I was trying out new things and then landed on this sound now in studio that I think is just like, it feels like home. Yeah.
So I consume a lot of music and too much. Like, because I believe there's like a subgenre that exists that is just people make music about love, but specifically heartbreak, like Taylor Swift, for example. And so I find that there's almost like there's two ways to heal: the Brent Faiyaz route or the Cleo Soul route. That guy knows what I'm talking about. and there's this sort of like, because I'm gauging that you went like the Cleo Soul route. Sorry to put you in a box.
No. I think
sorry to put you in a box.
I think also, like, to be fair, there's a big difference between like falling in love and first couple months in, it's more of an infatuation thing. So I think it's easier. Yeah. It's easier to go like the kind of angrier route when you're like, you didn't even, give this a chance. Then you can kind of be like, well, you're not really worth my time. Whereas,
it's
like,
fine,
if it's
we'll be on 1 minute.
Whereas if it's true, genuine heartbreak, like if you really love someone and you get your heart broken, I think that's a very different song to the.
Oh, Adele also.
Adele,
yeah. Damn. Yeah.
I mean, whole careers have been built off this. And I think. Yeah, it's an interesting one because you bring up to Adele, Taylor Swift. I mean, there are lots of men as well. People always forget about the men that made their careers off of love.
No.
Yeah.
Keep on. Bro,
I spent my 20s on you.
the album before that one. Oh my goodness, was so toxic. That was squad, bro. I was listening to this on the repeat. I was like, wait, but I'm in a healthy relationship.
No, I literally had that. My dad always used to tease me because when I was writing the album last year, I'm in a very happy relationship with the love of my life. And he was like, Luke, you need to break up with her so she can write some good music. And I was like, Dad, that is terrible advice. Like, you know I can write happy music too. Like, he's like, you can get back together, but just like get a couple good songs out.
Manufactured. Hey, yo.
Oh,
That's an A. Yo.
That's pretty much a dad.
Yeah,
That's
fully dad joke. He was good at that.
Oh, okay, cool. So coming into like the outward parts of the music industry, your performance career, your writing career, and you've actually been to quite a number of countries. You performed in the Seychelles, Mauritius, and you've even headlined in London.
Yes.
Is this correct? Wow. Tell us about that experience. What is that like?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I must say, like having a career that takes you places in the world is a massive privilege. I mean, the amount of places I got flown to Germany a couple of years ago, as you said, Seychelles, London was super incredible. It was amazing to be there and see. I've been once before, but it was less of a work trip, more of a just exploration. And then when I went this time, I went with the goal of performing and getting a bit of exposure leading up to the album launch. And I also wanted to explore the music scene as much as possible. And I wanted to go and watch other artists, and I wanted to see like how things work there and how different it is to the South African music industry. It's quite different.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, but it was a bit of a struggle to get a foot in the door.
Okay.
I must say it's quite like they a little bit closed off to outside talent, which I do understand. I also think it's hard when you're a smaller artist still building an audience to convince people that you can kind of put bums in seats and fill up a venue. And I was like, I'm telling you I can do this. And they're like, well, you've never performed here before, so how do we know? And then I managed to find a venue called Brixton Jam in Brixton, London. And they were incredible. I mean, they were so on it. And I was like, cool, let's do this. And we managed to sell out the full show in under 3 weeks, which was crazy. I was not expecting that. I knew I had some support there, but to sell out like my first ever show in London in under 3 weeks was very exciting. And yeah, even more exciting was the response to the new music when I performed. Yeah, it was just incredible. So grateful to everyone there who showed up. But yeah, I think there's something amazing about performing in another country and seeing kind of how differently things are run there. And the scene there is booming. I mean, we are nowhere close in terms of like the amount of live music venues. I mean, I was scrolling through pages of like, I'm like, oh, I don't know where to ask, like what suits my vibe, who's going to be open to me. I mean, in Cape Town, we've got 3 or 4 or 5 like well-known set up, well-established live music venues that are like ready for artists to come plug in and play. You know, you can create your own show venues, which I've done a lot of, but you know, it's hard when you're an upcoming independent artist and you don't have much budget. You're constantly having to create your own opportunities. Whereas the main thing I noticed there, like you walk in and there's just opportunity everywhere, but it's much more saturated.
Okay.
So as much as there's more opportunity, everyone's going there, to try and get opportunity. So it's not to say the grass is greener on the other side, because I would say that the ability to create opportunity here actually leaves you with more room for success because you're not competing in the same spaces as everyone else. Whereas there it's very kind of But I think it's tough because it's very regimented there. So you kind of have to either slot into the opportunities they provide or there's not much room for much else, you know. Whereas here, South African music industry, super flexible. You can create your own spaces. You can bring in your own acts. You can create your own lineups. You can reach out to venues that have never had live music before and be like, let me bring in some speakers and set it up for you, you know? And people are very open to that. They just haven't done much of it before.
Yeah.
So I think if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's kind of how I've built my whole career. Yeah.
So when you were performing, because you said you've done this now in smaller venues, I think Cafe Roo and so how has the feedback been? Because obviously and we've spoken about this before. One is it lives in your head, you record it, and then it's another thing to perform it and have an audience receive it. So how have you found that experience, like as you unpack? Because the big rollout's obviously when everyone gets to hear it on August, on the 17th of August. But now you get 27th of August. But now you get like these micro feedback moments with them.
Yeah. So we did a album preview. We had just kind of finished writing and we did a bit of a preview at Cafe Roo. And that was amazing to kind of see how the music translates live. And we'd finished writing, but we hadn't finished recording. And I did that on purpose because I find that the way you perform changes when you do it live on stage. And I wanted to feel that and capture that energy before I went into studio and performed it. And I think for me, it's really important to me that the music that I write translates either the same or better live. I am first and foremost a live artist. I'm a performer. I love being on stage. That's like where I'm at my happiest. And I think, doing the kind of Cafe Roo preview was a great way to get kind of a litmus test of how people responded to the music. And then we took it into studio and based all of our production decisions off of what it would sound like live, because we used a fully live band, which I absolutely loved. It's the first time I've done that, with some of the most incredible South African musicians and a lot of whom I've been playing with for years in my live band. So to bring them into studio and kind of get the creative juices flowing and get their input. And I also was I gave a lot of creative license. I had specific things that I knew that I wanted. Yeah. And then kind of in the gaps, I was like, make it your own. You know, the reason you bring live musicians in is because they bring a certain energy and creativity. Correct. Otherwise you can just lay down a loop and put in a sample, nothing wrong with that. But it's not what I wanted. I wanted to bring the music to life in its own way, and in the way that I feel it on stage. And I think having them in studio for that changed the game for me.
So I think it's very important because doing it this way, you almost also feel what the audience is. And when you go and then record it in the studio, you're translating that feeling as well. And all you're doing now is like you're expanding that audience, even through the earphones but beyond that little group. And then secondly, the second reason I like it is because the little preview shows create like almost like a cult type following. Where I'm going with this, I'm not calling it a cult. What I'm saying is you create these loyal supporters that see you from the start, from the ground up. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the artists that I also enjoy, it starts at that point, getting to know the first part. Then in every phase that you go through, for some reason, I'm now also going through this phase because I'm so committed to your music. And I think by having these little preview moments, you're not only just sharing the music, you're also sharing the experience that allows them to also be drawn into your journey as an artist.
No, 100%. And I think it allows input as well. I mean, we asked people afterwards, we were like, what do you think? Like, what resonated the most with you? We even got on one of the tracks, Time With You, which just came out a week ago. We got the crowd to sing along for the last chorus. So the people that were there for the preview show are on the final track.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was an amazing experience and we had amazing feedback all around. Yeah. I mean, that's like such a feel good song. And I think, as you said, bringing people in and letting them be a part of the journey and, you know, allowing them to connect and resonate with the music in their own way is like half the reason you do this, you know?
And I think it's also, like you mentioned, 1 or 2 spaces are created like that in Cape Town. But I think we also had one of our previous guests, Quaid, that started the
Are You Jazz?
the Are You Jazz platform.
Yes.
Whereas like that's also just another space because we're so talented, right? Sometimes we just don't have the platform to do that. And I think the more spaces that are created like this, it's a hit rate thing, right? If there's 10 people that say maybe 2 become phenomenal.
Yeah.
And now you were able to see them at that point.
Yeah.
And then we also get to be part of that journey. Because I think as a non-artist person, as a non-artist person, I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Because I can't express it, but you seem to have the words of my feelings.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to go with you on your journey.
I was also going to say, like, you can't expect artists to get better and to have the opportunity and the experience to be able to blow up, like people say, if they're not being put on stages. If you're not providing the space for people to get the experience in front of audiences, to connect with people, to perform their music in a way that doesn't bankrupt them because they have to set up the whole show themselves, then people can't get better.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason that I have thrived on stage and the reason that I love performing so much is because I decided quite young that this was going to be my career. And however I wanted to make that work, I would make it work. So I did a lot of like corporates, weddings, all of which a lot of the time covers, but I was on stage and I was performing all the time. And it made my voice better. It made my vocal technique and breathing technique better. It made my live stage performance better. The experience on stage is invaluable. And not everyone wants to do the corporate route. And, you know, as you get bigger in your own music and as I start to make more of a living off of my original music, I'm slowly phasing it out because that isn't where the passion is. But there's something to be said for time on stage. And it's an invaluable skill.
Yeah. Getting the reps.
Yeah. Just hours in the game.
Standing on business. I'm a husband, I'm a father. Anyway, I just like so because we in Cape Town especially have a big appetite for music in general. We love to rock the daisies. We love our ultras. We love our, what is it, Tomorrow Worlds and stuff like that. Is it Tomorrowland? Is it Tomorrowland? It's giving Disney World, Disneyland. Which one is it? That's, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair.
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I'm sorry. Damn.
Oh my gosh.
So those are like more sort of festivals. Because you've spoken about like performing on a stage. Do you see yourself as someone who would participate in those type of festivals, or do you feel like you are more of like this is your show kind of person?
No, I definitely want to get on festival stages. I do think there is a bit of a gap in the market for live bands on festival lineups. People are so electronic music focused at the moment, and they're so. I get that it's more expensive because you have to pay more people because there's a band involved and it's not just one person or 2 people behind the decks. But I have to say, I feel like you lose something. You lose like a massive amount of like
facts.
When stuff's pre-recorded. I mean, there are obviously DJs and acts that live mix, but I think having live instruments on stage changes the game. It changes the energy. It changes the audience experience. And I think it is something that we need to get better at in this country is getting live acts on stage, allowing people with full bands onto the lineup. I do think, like, as you said, I want to be on the festival. I'm more Sunset Sessions vibe. I'm not really a dancey. Like, I'll get you up and dancing. But you're not going to be raving. And I think there is also something to be said about knowing your place on the lineup, you know, and I'm not a 10 p.m., 12 p.m. girly. I'm your 6 p.m., 7 p.m., have your first couple drinks, relax into it. And that's not a status thing. I think people need to put that out of their mind that like however big you are is where you go on the lineup.
No.
The music needs to flow the right way.
Yeah, there's like BPM.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So there is another podcast called the Foreplay DJs podcast. You can have your question there, but they actually speak about the curated experience and how your lineup is about curating the experience for the person that's
and
coming.
it's a team effort. Like you with the other acts on the lineup need to be able to curate an experience that takes people on a journey throughout the evening. Because if you are just seeing your act as an isolated event, then when you start and finish, there's like this whole kind of jarring moment where the audience is like, what's happening here? Okay. Whereas if you actually talk to the next act going on, what's your final number? What's your first number? How can we make it more seamless so that, I can hand over to you? Do you want to come on with me?
Wow.
Hand over, do a duet, and then you take over. You know what I mean? Like it's less about isolated ego at this moment. Is about me and more about how do we make the experience the best for the audience? How do we share something? It's something to share, not something to prove. And that's, I feel like, such an important way to view music. It's like no one's trying to be like, well, there's so many incredible artists in this country. It's not about being the best. It's about sharing the space so that we can all be better.
I have a lot to respond to. So number one, I want to do
this happens often.
Let's design 4 things.
Don't write it down.
Sure, this number's just increasing.
So number one, So number one, we
for the next recording.
Bro, we're gonna get to 12 things that are cheaper by the dozen.
I don't want me to win away. This is the anus, bro. Anyway, so okay, so number one, we were on stage recently.
Amazing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we. You know what I'm saying? We did the things.
But one of us
You know
was
what I'm
thriving
saying?
on stage, as you can see.
Yo, I recall someone twerking.
It was a gyration of the hips, not
Gyration of the hips is
Very different.
uncle talk.
Is this where you developed your backing vocal?
Yes.
No.
Origin story.
But no, I'm Nemo Adams. Not Emo Adams.
He's still finding him, bro. He's still finding him.
Get out.
Okay, sorry. And so the point of the story
I was there.
was Lyle being our sound guy. You know what I'm saying? He was in the crowd. He was like, yo, the sound is cob. Like, just like, you know? And like, also the main organizer was like, oh, the sound. But the band. Collective. The band came through. There was literally like a song, Can We Talk? That like was part of the thing. And the band just ran with it. They just filled in the gap because the CD was not playing. And it wasn't part of, I've been to almost all the rehearsals. It wasn't part of their preparation. They just knew the song.
But that's the mark of a great performer.
That's what I'm like.
Is someone who can just jump in. Like stuff happens on stage. Stuff goes wrong all the time. You need to be able to run with it and be like, okay, how am I going to make this my own? How do I make this look like we planned this all along?
And I mean, if you are a band, if you're talented enough to be on stage, you know music. You can adjust the levels. You can adjust tempo. You can make it faster, slower. And I just feel like they are able to read the room better than the flipping electronics could. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm just wanting to do like echo yourself, throw that. And I'm
Love
like,
alive, man.
because I mean, we grew up with, well, we didn't grow up, but like the Queens and the Beatles, they were live.
And that's not to say that electronic music doesn't have its place.
No,
I
absolutely
love a good dance festival. I love it. But I think there's something that gets lost in the humanity of it. And I think that with the progression of AI, just to touch on that, I think we're going to go back to live bands. I think people are going to get so bored of music that can be produced by a computer because that's just going to start being pumped out by people that aren't human. And suddenly being imperfect is going to be what catches people's attention.
That's a wild take.
No, it's a W take and I need it to happen.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is that people will turn around and be like, oh, I really just want to see like people on stage doing amazing things playing incredible instruments, like people that can make mistakes but are going to do it anyway and, you know, go with the moment and run with it and add in a sax solo where there wasn't one before. Whereas, you know, if something's set in stone, pre-recorded, there's only so much that can go wrong, you know, and sometimes the mistakes are where the magic happens.
The second thing, because you know, there's stuff there.
You poor things.
Do you need a notepad? No. Just a thought. Carry on.
So you've shared the stage with some incredible names before, and yet you have this sort of like confidence that you are portraying. I'm like, you're portraying quite a confidence. But do you ever feel like that imposter syndrome? Do you ever feel that like, what am I doing here?
All the time. All the time. I was actually literally saying today as I was getting ready for this podcast, I was like, oh my God, I'm shitting myself. Like, what if they ask me something that I don't know? Like, what if I don't know enough about the industry? Like, what if I don't know one of the acts that they talk about? That's going to be so embarrassing. Like, I was like, what am I, I know that people feel like this often in the space. And I know that it's not like, and I think, the funny thing about imposter syndrome is that it can either shut you down or it can make you work harder. And I think the main thing is like, I know that I'm not perfect and I know that I don't know everything, but I'm willing to and want to try, you know? And I think the main thing for me as a musician is like just exposing myself to the space and like being, like you said, sharing the stage with other people that I can learn from and be inspired by. And I think often people underestimate how much inspiration you can take from other acts. And if you're not watching live music, then you can't bring it in. Yeah, you need to incorporate your learnings, you know?
Okay. So this third question, like, because I'm formulating it, man. I do need a notepad. and it's this notion of collaboration, right? And I'm more interested in like, is there a format that you want to sort of like experience or break into, whether it's be like a musical, like a musical, stage musical, a musical film, or is the progression of you that, you want to collaborate with like this artist, or you want to collaborate in this space? What do you resonate with in terms of collaboration?
Beautiful question. I actually dabbled a bit with musical theatre in school. Loved it. It's not my niche. I'll leave that where it was.
The fact that she introed and closed.
So we'll just put that there.
Yeah.
I'm not closed off to the idea, but it's not where I thrive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not an actress.
Yet.
For me, like where I do really well is being authentically myself. And I think the main way that can show up in collaborations is getting into the room with other writers. And, you know, I think co-writing is such an incredible way to flesh out ideas, to bring in outside opinions, and to like really
To the audio listeners, come get your boy.
It's really persisting.
Yo, that's crazy. And you're just follow this, like,
It's just
soldier through,
sticking with me.
That's,
Anyway.
that's the
Yeah, but on the topic of collaboration, I think the one thing that I struggle with in the South African music industry is there's such a fierce scarcity mindset. There's like this feeling that like there's not enough space for everyone.
Not just in music.
Yeah,
but yes.
Yeah. And I think it's because we've been told that for so long, and especially as a woman in the industry, I think we are often pitted against each other because there's only one or two women on a lineup. So you want to be that one or two. Yeah. And instead of like building each other up and collaborating together, you end up competing. And I think it's something that I've really been trying to kind of work on changing, both in myself and others, because it comes so naturally. I mean, it's really drummed into you as a woman to like see other women as a threat. You have to unlearn that. And it's something I've been doing kind of since I was 17. I did gender studies in at varsity. So it was kind of an anthropology and philosophy. So very interested in people and the way we work. And it kind of brought up all this stuff for me where I was like, why do I have these instant like biases and reactions? And how do I make sure that they're not like my favorite quote, I can't remember who it was, but they say that your first thought is who society has taught you to be, and your second thought is who you are.
Damn.
So your response to something can be negative. You can say like, oh, okay, there's another female artist is having success and your first feeling is jealousy. Fine. Or you feel slightly threatened. Fine. What's your next thought? Because my next thought is, how can I meet up with them and collaborate and find out, more about them? How can I get to know this person? So instead of viewing them as someone to compete with, I view them as a friend that I can help build up.
Wow.
And I think that needs to be the way the industry is working in South Africa, because there is enough space for everyone. I mean, how often have you found a new artist you like and been like, okay, I'm going to stop listening to this other person because I found this person?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, that's not how listening, how listening to music works, You can love multiple different types of music, multiple different artists. And I think we need to find a way to build each other up and to allow each other more opportunity. And the way to do that is with collaboration. And that's something I'm super passionate about and really want to kind of go more in that direction.
Are we going to do like a... Sorry for this. Are we going to do like a best answer award at some point? like a GenC. And then we just like send fruit baskets to our guests. Like, you cooked right here. Slay queen. Okay, so the fourth question.
Yeah. Really got them lined up here.
Thank you. But it's like, the payoff is there. Like, I'm not wasting anybody's time. He says knowing this last question is the worst question. Because we've spoken about AI, we've spoken about like platforms, and there's an elephant in the room that exists, and that is social media. And what is your relationship with social media in terms of your music? Because some of us are like,
yeah,
saying, or like some of us are like, I mean, it's a tool.
Yeah, I think, okay.
I hate the fact that Rizan 4 things rose as 4 good questions. like
JP's waiting there being like, please have a bad one.
Like 50% good, and then we can go back to 2 things that rose. The fact that all 4 was good questions.
Great questions, very good questions. I think for me, I've seen the benefit that social media can have.
Yeah.
In my sister's campaign and in other artists. I mean, in this day and age, blowing up on TikTok can make and break your career, And I'm aware of the ways in which it can and needs to be used as a tool in order to further your career. My problem with it is that 2 things. The one is that I have always rather struggled to allow a massive audience of people to see who I really am in that space. Okay. I struggled to share, I think, like right from when I was young and when I first got social media, my parents always drummed into me, like, everything you share on there is forever, I'm like, fair. But now I'm terrified to like ever say anything. And I have gotten better at that. And I'm allowing myself to find a way to, and this comes into finding my voice and figuring out who I am. And I'm definitely feeling more comfortable sharing my opinions on public platforms.
Yeah.
But the second thing is that I think the struggle with promoting music online is that it doesn't lend itself to authenticity. So even if you are authentic and can voice your opinions in a way that is true to who you are, often it doesn't resonate with people because what they're used to is clickbait and catchphrases and the, paid ads and catch your attention in 10 seconds. And like none of what we have said today can happen in a 10-second span.
Nothing beats a jet to holiday.
Exactly. Exactly. And
like I don't even remember the original song's name anymore. That's how bad that was.
Hold my hand, Jessica.
I know.
You might not remember it.
We're actually having a conversation the other day about whether she would be happy or unhappy that this happened.
The person who did the voice for Jet Holiday and Jessica met in like a YouTube, like a radio interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was like, it's happening. It was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. And she was real tongue in cheek about it. I mean, she's one of the like best selling or the most number one hits.
Yes.
Because I mean, my love.
Ayo.
My love.
Ayo.
Okay.
Ayo.
Yo.
Ayo.
His vocals this morning.
Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
I didn't know this was an addition.
Yo, the scowl
It's a-
was
I do think
crazy.
so.
It's a 10 from me.
The scowl was crazy.
I do think that on that note, that the blowing up on TikTok virality thing, it really comes down to what kind of artist you want to be. And my goal has never been to have a number one pop hit that has its moment in the sun and then is forgotten about. I want to create a relationship with people where they value what I have to say and vice versa.
Yeah.
I want to hear the ways in which my music has resonated with you. I want to know why you're listening to it. And I want you to feel why I wrote it in the first place, you know? And I don't think your 10-second number one trending snippet on TikTok really makes people feel much of that. You know, it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
But does it make you walk away and go like, wow, that song really impacted
It
me?
also does drive attention.
Yes.
So it does have
I'm
its
not
place.
saying that I wouldn't be stoked if my song blew up on TikTok.
Correct.
I would be lying.
Yeah.
But it's not my goal.
You're not setting out to do
Yeah.
this.
And I think, there's something to be said in a world full of overnight successes, which I don't believe in. It's not a thing. There's something to be said for like putting in the effort and creating an audience on the ground and actually putting in the time and effort to get to know the people who are listening to your music.
Yeah.
Because to your point, there is no overnight successes. There are hooks, and then there's those that capture it. And in order for you to capture it, you need to be prepared. So you might be getting attention overnight, but if you run with it, it's because it's your time to run with it.
Yeah.
And in order to get to that point, you need to have the reps in.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that you always like they always say you practice like you're going to play, and it's very important for artists to practice the same mindset. It's always good to fail when only 10 people are watching, so that when 1 million people are watching, you will succeed.
Exactly.
Because you've learned the lesson with a smaller audience.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about being ready for an opportunity. I mean, I've definitely, going back to our little therapy session here, I've definitely realized how much I've held myself back in my career because I wasn't ready. The music wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't who I needed to be in order for my career to take that next step. And I could have maybe done better or gone more viral or done more if I'd like put myself out there more. But who's to say that that would have been better, because I would have been stuck in a niche that I wasn't passionate about and hadn't found my sound or my voice yet.
Yeah.
And I think for the first time with this project, I am ready to like put myself behind it, you know, say it with my full chest to get it out there. And if anything does happen, I'll be ready then to handle that. Yeah. Whereas before, not so much.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, you know, everything happens in its time. And I think, I'm glad that my career has gone the way it's gone because I wasn't ready before this.
I mean, I'm feeling an immense gratitude. So I do want to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
To Alexander, thank you so much for recommending. Because I'm a weirdo. I like.
Is it safe space?
Good start. Good start.
It's the tone of the okay. Man.
I don't listen just to the music. I'm like, tell me the law. Say, why did Frank Ocean do that? Because that's crazy. Yeah, and saying what's going on with Kanye. Yeah. You know, and saying
what
like,
is going on? No one can answer that question.
And saying I'm curious about the law, and then I don't know if I made this joke on the Lucania episode about J. Cole about how when he did that thing about Don't Save Her over 3 different albums. And I'm like, I mean, come on now, dog. If we hear since day one, like the payoff is there. And so this is such a weird question. And this is my last question for the day in that realm, is that what is your sort of like playful connection to the music industry? Do you also feel like you are while you are part of it, what is your? I'm a fan of this two lane or energy or vibe.
Like what I listen to, like what gets my
Let's get
yeah. I've got to say, at the moment, I actually just saw her live in London. I am big time fan of Olivia Dean. I think she is incredible. She was sensational. So I saw her in Hyde Park, fully female lineup, packed out, hundreds of thousands of people. Never before done in South Africa. No, it was incredible to walk into the space and have 4 stages of all incredible female acts and just hundreds of thousands of people there to see them. I was like, oh my gosh, this could actually happen. Like, wow. And Olivia Dean opened for Sabrina Carpenter.
Wow.
And I must say, there's something about being able to stand up there. She had a full band behind her, such a tight band. I mean, the brass section is just insane. Like, they were so talented. And she, like, no big production value, no nothing, a little flowy pink curtain behind her. And I couldn't look away from her for a full hour. Yeah. I was just mesmerized. She is such an incredible performer, such an incredible songwriter. I really, really love her music. And I mean, there's something to be said for the massive production value of a Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. But there is something really special about not having to do that and still being able to hold an audience's attention that I was just blown away by. I was like, my God. She can do no wrong. And yeah,
it's
I think
so nice
she's
that you got to see her.
Yeah. Oh, she's having a moment in the sun now as well. She's the traction's starting to go, and I'm so happy for her. She deserves it so much. She's just incredible.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm upset.
Why are you upset?
No, because you cooked the game.
Is that you want to go?
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, was like, we have to do this now.
So there's a game we like to play on the show, right? It's a game of purely hypothetical questions, just in case it happens. Yeah. And it's a game we like to call...
Wait a minute.
Yo, bro. Some of these things shouldn't have.
There's actually 2 explanations that needs to happen right now. There's one that, like, have you ever interacted with a colored person or a person of color, and they'd be like, you imagine this had to happen, or say my now this had to happen.
Yes.
All right, cool. That's the first explanation.
Okay.
Then the premise of the game is that the scenario that's about to come up is about to be wild.
Yeah.
And we're all grateful for this moment because now we get to just like, what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm nervous.
There we go. Yeah. So
let's hear
that's
it.
a game we like to call Say My Now.
Say My Now. The 3 of you had to create a band using no instruments, only everyday objects. What objects are you using to make music?
Okay, just hold on. Remember that movie by Zac Efron, We Are Your Friends?
Yeah.
Where the bro was like flipping the drill and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
inspired by it.
Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. Damn.
I must say, when I was younger, my dad had this really weird habit out in restaurants of taking like sushi chopsticks and like drumming on glasses and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like upside down bowl. Just
absolutely.
Gotta have chopsticks for sure.
Chopsticks.
Because we used to must do that with pencils.
With pencils.
And Mon Armies. Because we grew up with drumline.
Brilliant. So there's your percussion.
Okay, cool.
Surely a cup of some sort and a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Oh, for that extra percussion.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, I was thinking of, like those when you fill the glasses with different amounts of water.
Yes,
That can be like your keys.
We're busy with alchemy now, bro. This is science.
That can be
this is engineering.
Your little
bro.
synth section. Just
Yeah.
Depends on what type of music we're gonna make. Are we Daft Punking it out?
I think you collect your goods and see what you can do. Because otherwise,
do the different keys on the keyboard, like of like the laptop and stuff. Do they all make the same sound?
Oh yeah.
Or can we augment it that they don't?
I mean,
like
it depends.
If we make it higher, or whatever the case may be, can we get like a different type of?
I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah, and so,
But then I would run like a PC.
that
keyboard,
realistic
yeah,
one,
not the
yeah.
laptop, because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds very
You want a
soft.
gaming keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want a mechanical keyboard.
Mm.
Because you get you get different color clicklets. I don't know what they call.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they all make different sounds.
Yeah.
Beer
That's-
bottle, blow into it.
Oh yes, yes.
There's your flute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's your wind instruments.
0% because we want to be halal.
Yes, yeah, no.
No. Halal. My brother.
Let me tell you something.
That's a deep thing. That's a deep
What's our vibe on the kettle? It's super high frequency.
Oh, okay. You mean like when those?
Can we
those
like
old
record and
ones-
pitch it down, or
Yeah.
we live?
Yo, the electron is getting crazy.
Yeah.
We fully augmenting the kettle.
Because if we live, I think maybe not.
No, it's,
yeah.
it's fine. It's
But
fine.
if we can record it and pitch it down,
Yeah.
Then it's fine, maybe. No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
we need like
Do you have
a
an honorable
like
mention?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so because you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about how like it's still a type of percussion,
Mm.
but like stomping on different materials on the floor.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like putting just like a bit of like grass, paper, glass, whatever the case may be, and seeing what those
Good
stuff-
one. Yeah.
what sounds that. But then you must have that like Ed Sheeran machine where you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
like
yeah.
The loop.
drum
Yeah.
Just lots
My,
of
my honorable mention will probably be a lighter. But the one with the
Okay,
the,
Oka pipe,
I must say we got a lot of
Yeah.
percussion
Okay,
going on here.
That
We
is
need
a lot
some
of
like
percussion.
strings.
yeah, like what's our like melody
What's gonna
instrument?
bring melody?
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking like the cup thing for the
Yeah.
like a can sort of
Damn.
a marimba.
Yo,
sound.
we fully like
That's
say man, there's no
percussion.
electricity energy. That's what we're doing right now. Say man, Dr. Stone.
No,
say
but we
man,
got it on BV, so we good.
Yeah.
We don't even need it.
Do you know? I
We
used to,
sorted.
do you know Jenny? I used to make the weirdest sounds.
Oh wait.
Like I used to do like
Yeah.
I used to do I used to do like a
Yeah.
I used to do weird stuff. Like no, I used to be able to do that.
I mean,
it's
give the
rusty
Adidas
now.
and then
Yeah.
and the Adidas.
Yo, that's gonna be
And
one
then-
of the most irritating sounds on the planet.
I used to do. I
Yeah.
used to make a noise.
Okay, so he's
I'm the third instrument.
He's the third instrument.
Sorted.
Yeah,
Love it.
Sorted.
And the
We-
backup
we have-
vocalist and the harmonizer.
Love it. Very nice handwriting. Whose handwriting is this?
Can I just
Definitely
say?
not Rizan.
Normally,
That's so rude.
this is such an uncalled for shot, and it hurt.
He's been holding in those tears all day.
Because I was gonna say, can I just say? Normally, JP always like throws the handwriting under the bus
Mm.
for no reason,
Oh, wait.
and you just like, is it? And I'm like, it's your cup of tea, and I love that for you.
I have the handwriting of a 5-year-old, so my bar is
Same.
quite low. I'm not gonna lie. Say me now. Say me now. You could experience something for the first time again. Like completely erase everything you know about this thing and experience it freshly and unfiltered. What would you want that experience to be?
And I'm not allowed to say One Piece. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Just not allowed
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
One Piece.
Sure.
For the first time.
For the first time. The script is my favorite back in the day.
For me, it would be the first time that I actually fell in love with my wife. Because I had her as a friend, obviously. But then there's a switch that goes.
Why are you laughing?
There's a
Beautiful.
switch. There's a switch that goes on that when you start seeing through like a different lens, man. Like this can be my partner.
Yeah.
So I would love to experience that for the first time again.
Sorry.
Beautiful
Yeah, it's
answer.
fine.
Damn it. No, please. You go.
I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rizan, anything on your side?
I love for the wrong answers.
Yeah, wrong answers also.
I also I would do my whole life over again. Like, just
For the first time. Just like for the first time.
I'm gonna say that I would not do that.
I'm like,
You've heard my story. I'm happy where I am.
isekai me now, bro. Like reincarnated as just like a different bro. Like just like I'm arrogant like, and I'm like, bro, like if I could go back, I would change this. I'm like, yo, that.
But what if it's worse? Then do you get to come back to who you are now?
You see, now that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, no, that's the thing. That's the thing. What if? Better. Yeah, I'm saying. But anyway, what did I like the experience for the first time?
Yes, it is on.
That is cute, by the way. Like,
Oh,
I love
thank
this
you.
for you. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I love it for me too.
Damn.
It's a tough question.
There's an experience I wish I could relive. And so in grade 7, I did public speaking at I Stateford gang. And there was
What is the levels? Higher honors or something?
highest honors.
Highest
Yeah.
honors.
So I got 90% for my prepared speech, but I got
Amazing.
97% for my unprepared speech. Because the topic just resonated with me. And I think I wanna like experience that again. Or I just wanna I wanna see how it was received, man. Because how the fuck did I get 97?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That type of vibe. Or I'd like to experience some of my live performances in poetry again. But again, like from the other side.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear me say that things. The real answer is One Piece. The real answer is One Piece. But like,
Oh gosh.
Do you have an answer? Or?
I do, yeah. I think for me, there's a bit of a gap there, that time where I was so medicated, where I can't really remember like much of what I felt and did. And we had some incredible experiences in that time that I feel like I almost didn't get to experience. We went on a beautiful family trip to Greece, taken by friends of ours, and like the most incredible quality time with my dad and my mom. And I wish I could do something like that again, where I got to kind of keep those memories a bit more intact. I mean, I have a lot of beautiful memories with my dad, but I think that would be a particularly special one. On a more superficial level, I'd love to read my favorite book again, start to finish, without knowing what it was, like re-experiencing it.
What book was it?
So I am deep in the fantasy game at the moment. It's called Throne of Glass. So good.
come on now, like the first book, like sorry, nerd time.
Let's go.
The first book, like it takes probably a week or two, maybe 3 to finish. After that, a few days. Like,
Yeah.
I chomped that.
I'm going to tell you, I read the whole series, 8 books, in 10 days.
Goodness me.
I could not put it down. I was literally, and they start off at like 400 or 500 pages. I think the last 3 books are like 800, 1,000 pages. I was sitting there. My boyfriend walked in on me on the last book. I was sobbing. I was literally... I think there's something so awesome about reading in fantasy worlds where you get to like experience the same kind of emotion and stuff, but without the heaviness of it being real life topics.
Yeah.
Often for me, I use reading as a kind of escapism moment. And that book for me, God tier. I was like, this is going to live in my head for the rest of my life.
Because for me, from book 3 is that where like I think I finished the book like in a day and a half. Like, and it was 500, 600 pages.
Sure.
Like,
I'm so glad you know what I'm talking about. I was like, they're going to think I'm such a nerd.
No, that's a valid answer.
We welcome all.
That's a
Oh,
valid.
gosh.
That's a valid
There's something
answer.
about reading as well that really gets you wanting to write. I mean, I wrote like so many songs after that. I finished that series and I was like, let's go. Like, I'm so inspired.
I don't have the same effect on books. The books doesn't make me go and write. It makes me go sleep. Yeah.
Fair. That is fair.
Yes, to each their own.
No, but I like reading though.
Okay.
I like reading in holiday time. So like December vibes.
Yeah, I read
That's
like
me.
a crack addict, so I actually have to stop myself. I have to be like, literally, I'm allowed to read in this period of time,
Yeah.
and then I'm not allowed to touch a book, otherwise I won't get anything else done.
Yeah.
That's
I'm like an addict. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
bad.
And
same. Same. I remember I came back from once from a holiday and I was like, yo, do you know, I watched so many movies and I read like a book and I'm like, bro, you had time to read a book? And I was like, wait, we have a problem. And I just changed that. So now like I try and read as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. We're here now.
Mm.
Damn. We've come to the end of the concert, the end of the show.
I'm having so much fun.
That's how we try and end up with this
Yeah,
experience. And so at the end, we like to give the guest an opportunity to do two things. Actually, three. Yeah. But the first two. So number one, please do plug, promote your album. Where can people download it? Where can people buy it? Where can people find you on? Are there any shows that you're going to be performing at? Please do go for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So my debut album, A Glimpse Inside My Mind, is coming out on Wednesday, the 27th of August, which happens to be the same day as my birthday.
Oh, awesome.
Very exciting. So lots of reasons to celebrate on that day. And the best birthday present to me in the whole world is if you go and listen to it. It's going to be out everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, all streaming platforms. And it's an 8-track album. It kind of, as the title suggests, it's a little glimpse into this last chapter of my life and how it's kind of shaped me as a person. And it goes through a whole series of different topics, from grief and loss to falling in love to being betrayed to all sorts of themes that I really hope that you can resonate with. So please go give it a listen, and I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Then the second thing, and I feel like, again, this is such an appropriate question, is that please provide a message to your younger self.
Yeah. Wow.
Any age.
Yeah.
Any age.
Sure. I'd say I think I'd tell myself not to be afraid to feel and to be myself. I think it's taken me so long to get to that place, and I wish I'd been able to get there sooner. And I think, I wish I could tell myself to be less afraid of what the world thinks of me and rather just learn to be myself in the world.
Sure. So deep. So good. And so the third thing we do want to give you the opportunity to do
This
is
is called JP shock therapy.
Yes, it's to my own fault. It's my least favorite part of the show. But do you have a question for us?
Yeah.
And it's my least favorite because clearly this is the only part.
Because
that I
we're
have
not
no input
prepared
on.
for this.
Okay, let's
And
go.
that's why it's like you get to like turn the table.
Is it one question for both of you?
Go. Absolutely.
You can
Kirsty,
decide,
two things
but
that-
it can be one question.
Kirsty, two things.
It can be one question for that side if you really want to.
Okay, let me think.
Kristi, two things.
Kirsty, two things.
Okay, I've got a good one for both of you.
Go for it.
If you were a songwriter and had to release your first hit single, what would it be about?
Oh.
I love this game. Oh, so good. Okay, damn. I need to think about it. I think so, because I write poetry, man.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I write poetry. One of the titles, because I've already like So I'm a Rose, a name I call myself, inspired by me, a name I call myself. And one of the like subheadings is called Ugly Laughs, Ugly Cries. And I just feel like that would be like the title.
Like embracing the extremes of feeling.
There we go. Because it really is sometimes quite extreme, and also I love making people ugly laugh. I love, like, if you've ugly laughed, belly laughed in front of me, my person. That's a body.
Yo.
I think I would go with probably be the song title will probably be What You See, and I think it would speak about when I was younger I always wanted to be able to see someone that looks like me or sounds like me, and now I'm actually becoming that person.
Amazing.
That sounds like me.
Great song.
So that would be my. I don't write poetry. I'm not a name I call myself. I'm just JP.
Flicks on him.
Catch me on Wednesdays.
Kristi, this has been incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
JP, excellent work. Can I just give it?
Thank you.
Not both of you.
No. I mean, you know what you signed. So just tell your friends to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and remember the album is coming out 27th of August.
Yo.
Yeah.
And we out.
Peace.